Well, for more analysis, we're joined by Dr. Nourhan El Sheikh, a political science professor. Dr. Nourhan, good evening, good afternoon to you, and welcome to Qnews. And let me here ask you, what prompted the large public gatherings at Rafah crossing, and what do they reveal about the Egyptian societal position towards the Palestinian issue?
Good afternoon for you and for all who follow our program. Actually, the people of Egypt and also as well as the leader of Egypt were clearly condemn that initiative to displace the Palestinians. The millions actually of Egyptians want to express their opinions more and more than we are seeing now in TV. They are expressing the popular attitude in Egypt that we refuse totally the displacement of Palestinians, and they are supporting the historical and the legal rights of Palestinians for an independent state of Palestine. I think this is the time to push forward, all of us, to push forward the Palestinian state to see the light finally after 100 years or more of struggling toward that. I think this is the time, and it is clear that all people refused, as well as the government, not only in Egypt but worldwide, and Jordan, Arab, everywhere they are refusing the displacement of Palestine.
You mentioned a very important issue, which is the historical developments in Egypt, or the historical incidents in Egypt. Now, how have the historical events in Egypt shaped public sentiment regarding the displacement of Palestinians?
Egypt and the Egyptians, the one who defend Palestine all over the history since 40s, 1948, and along the 60s, 70s. We are the one who defend Palestine and defend it because it is Egyptian issue. It is not only a Palestinian or Arab matter. It is our national security, starting from Palestine, starting from Gaza. And we all, people as well as government, feeling responsibility toward Palestine issue. And there are, I think, legal status for that. Many Security Council resolutions defend Palestinian rights. So that is a historical, social, political matter in Egypt, and in every Egyptian actually have a lot of concern about Palestinians and the Palestinian state, Palestinian people. They are our brothers, sisters, and we are caring a lot about their future.
Now, Dr. Nourhan, how does Egypt's rejection of the Israeli demands align with its broader foreign policy in the Middle East?
We have a lot of doubts about Israel and what they are planning for. And those doubts now, they are not just doubts, but really fears and threats, real threats, after the new American administration asked clearly for the displacement of Palestinians. So we considered a threat to national security of Egypt, a threat to the whole Middle East, because you say what happened in Syria and how Israel attacked Syria, attacked Lebanon. So I think most of people in Egypt think that it is not just Gaza or Lebanon or Syria. Once it will cover maybe the whole Middle East, and we will once also think about more or beyond Gaza and beyond Lebanon, beyond Syria. So it is they are real threats to our national security, our national interests, and for the stability and security of the Middle East. And I will not. It is not. It is really a threat to maybe the global security as a whole.
Now, how has the Egyptian role played in mediating between Israel and Palestine influence its stance on the displacement issue?
Egypt playing very important role in negotiations, and a huge effort Egypt made in negotiation, not only now, since 70s actually, and Egypt trying to mediate and to facilitate negotiation and to push forward settlement, some kind of settlement, fair settlement to the Palestinian issues. But the problem always was the Israeli side, who actually didn't pay that much flexibility and to accept the Palestinian rights. They have their own plans, maybe some fundamentalists there pushing forward to some unacceptable solutions. The displacement is totally rejected and totally unacceptable. And the Israeli government and those who are pushing forward such ideas should recognize that no one in Egypt and in Arab world, and I think most of the whole world will not accept that. And Egypt is trying and doing a huge effort to reach a fair settlement by an independent Palestinian state.
Now, let me here ask you, do you think from your point of view, the U.S. shifts in its foreign policy would really impact Egypt's position towards accepting Palestinian refugees?
Yes, to some extent. The new administration, I think, is going far beyond what...
No, do you think that Egypt would be impacted or affected by the position or the shifts of the U.S. foreign policy? Do you think Egypt's position would change?
No, I think His Excellency, the President of Egypt, mentioned clearly and declared that no way, Egypt will not accept the displacement of Palestinians, not only because our interest or our national security, but we are concerned a lot about the future of Palestinians and the future of Palestine state. So we cannot accept that for the Palestinians and for the interest and the future of all Palestinian people and the authority. If we accept that, it would be the end of Palestine state. No one can imagine a Palestinian state without Palestinians, without land. So simply it will be an end of that. Egypt cannot participate in such a crime because all generation nowadays and in the future will examine and will even charge the people who are agree about that. So I think it is totally not acceptable, and it was really declared openly and clearly by His Excellency the President of Egypt.
Now, speaking about the humanitarian aspect, from your point of view, what could be the humanitarian consequences of forced displacements of Palestinians for both the Palestinians themselves and the Egyptians as well?
We all follow how horrible it is in Gaza. Nothing, no electricity, no water, no places, no homes, no roads. It's a total disaster. I don't know how people, how Palestinians can live in such a horrible situation. Egypt trying to add and to give hand to them by facilitating the aid from Egypt and from other countries to enter Gaza. But I think they need a lot, and they still need more and more aid. And the most important thing is to maintain the ceasefire. This is very important now. Without maintaining ceasefire and giving some stability, some security, it will be more and more horrible for Palestinians. And we are, by a way or another, not only Egyptians, the whole world is responsible for that and should doing something to stop Israel from attacking innocent people and to provide such a secure environment for renovation and for rebuilding what Israel destroyed.
Now, from your point of view, how is Egypt balancing its humanitarian responsibilities with the national security concerns in addressing the Palestinian crisis?
I think it's clear, obvious that Egypt is the main gate for all aid from Egypt and from other countries. Most of the aid is going through Rafah, and Egypt is the one who facilitates that. Egypt also the one who restores crossing borders, etc., to be able to facilitate aid. So Egypt recognized that it is, by a way or another, it is a life or the corridor life for Gaza. And without the help of Egypt, the situation will be more and more complicated for Palestinians. But still, as I told you, Egypt doing a lot, and huge effort. But we need the rest of the world, and then we need the rest of Arab countries also to give hands in that. Otherwise, that horrible period will continue or will last for some time.
You said give a hand. What exactly would can be the international support that Egypt can seek to address the Palestinian humanitarian needs without resorting to displacement from your point of view? And what kind of pressures do we need from the international community?
Actually, it is many things are required from the international system and from the other countries. First of all, UNRWA. Why they stopped the UNRWA activities in Gaza. It is very highly needed that UNRWA backing to its activities and its what it was doing in Gaza is very great, is very important. So UNRWA is very needed to back to Gaza and to give them some freedom and many support to in their work. Plus, also to give a clear message to Israel concerning continue and maintaining a ceasefire agreement, because unfortunately within Israel there are many voices who are calling to back to fight, to back to war, to end the ceasefire, etc. It is very important for the whole world to support and to stand against any break to ceasefire agreement and to end by a whole settlement, lasting peace. This is also very important. Plus, the quantity of humanitarian assistance. Yes, what is going on, huge, but Palestinians need more and more to be able to recover and to be able to live and in such a situation. Everything is totally destroyed in Gaza, and that need more and more millions of tons of assistance from different kinds, medicine, food, materials or resources needed for infrastructure. Everything is needed in Gaza, and I think that is required from all countries and all countries who are keen in a lasting peace in the Middle East in general.
If I may ask you here about the pressures that we've been speaking about of the international community, what's your take on the international community putting pressures on Egypt to accept the displacement issue, while not pressuring Israel to stop its aggression on Palestinians?
It's double standard. We used that long ago. That unfortunately the West have usually having such double standard. And I think the European countries, many of them, changed their attitudes a lot toward the displacement and toward the Palestinians' problem. But still, the problem in the United States and the new administration, which is trying to pressure Egypt and Jordan by all means to accept displacement. They have their own plan to the region and to Gaza in particular. But those plans will not, by any way, will not be achieved in the cost of national security of Egypt and in Arab national security in general.
If I may speak about Egypt's rejection to the Palestinian displacement, the Egyptian rejection of Palestinian displacement align with its national security interests. What's your comment on that?
Because we are the first will be suffer from that displacement in many ways. Yes, we are defending mainly by refusing and rejecting displacement. We are defending Palestine, but we are also defending our national security priorities, because if we accept Palestinians on our land, it means as we are giving Israel part of our land, and this is not acceptable. Plus, I don't, and many others think that Palestinians will not stop fighting toward their rights. So what will happen is that you are moving the war in Egypt. Sinai would be the place of war instead of Gaza. So we didn't do anything. We didn't ensure the peace, and we just moving the battle fire scene from Gaza to Sinai and involving Egypt in that. We are trying to respect peace agreement between Israel and Egypt, and we are keen about keeping peace with Israel. The displacement, I think, will threat that agreement and will maybe lead to, by a way or another, some kind of war or struggle between the two sides. So it's danger from many aspects, and I think we will not by any way accept that displacement for the good of Palestinians and also for the good of Egypt.
Yes, that was Dr. Nourhan El Sheikh, a political science professor. Many thanks for you for joining us here on Q News in